Hello and welcome to the Road to 1 million US dollars, the series where I try to make $1 million before I graduate from university. Today, sitting at 30 subscribers and 19 videos. Let's get right into the charts because today, guys, there is some very important news. There's a big update. First of all, as I talked about over the last couple videos, I drew out this inverse head and shoulders pattern on the Bitcoin chart. And it played out almost perfectly over the last day or so. I told you guys the price target was around 72K. And we ended up reaching up to 71.6K so far, which is very nice. However, right now, there is a little bit of a retracement going on. And actually, we are currently just bouncing off of this $69,400 level that I have been talking about for a long time, guys. Why? Well, this is the 2021 all-time high. As you can see right here, this is the exact Bitcoin top in 2021. Yesterday, we broke through this resistance level right here, now flipping it into support. What does this mean for the Bitcoin price action in the short term? Well, let's take a look at it. On the 2-hour time frame, you can see that we still have a little bit of a move left to go before reaching the technical price target. So in the short term, this is a level that I might be expecting here. Another thing that we must take into account is that at this exact price target, we are actually running into some very critical resistance, namely the previous 73K all-time high. So this level from 72 to 74K, this is a very important resistance level that we need to keep in mind in the short term. Now, as for support levels that you need to be watching in the short term here, it is the $68,500 level all the way up to the $70,000 level. This should be acting as some short-term support. And then below that, in the case that we do see a breakdown, I would be watching the 66,000 to 65,500 US dollar level as another area of potential support. And then lastly, if we do end up breaking down even further before I make the next video, which in my opinion is pretty unlikely, but I do want to have told you guys, it is the 60K to 62.5K level here. So if you want to draw these out in your own trading view, I would highly recommend it, because then if you're looking at the charts, then you know why we're bouncing or getting rejected from certain levels. Now, before I move on to the ETF inflows and the liquidation heat maps that we usually take a look at on the channel here, I do want to have shown you this USDT dominance chart, because in the past, this has exactly marked local tops and cycle tops for Bitcoin. So as you can see here, in 2017, we touched this trend line and got the Bitcoin top. Then in 2019, we touched the trend line and got the 2019 Bitcoin local top. This was about a 60% correction right here, just as a local top in the middle of the bull run. Then here, the first 2021 Bitcoin top and also the second Bitcoin top in 2021 were both marked by this exact trend line. Now, zooming in on the daily time frame, you can see that we have exactly touched this trend line right here. Now, what does this mean in the short term for the price action? To be completely honest, guys, I think it is very hard to tell. I look at these charts every single day, and what I can just say right now is that it's really difficult to say. We have a lot of liquidity to the upside right here, about $2.3 billion of liquidity sitting just around 74K, but we also have huge liquidity to the downside. This is why, personally, I just want to stick to this chart right here and tell you guys what I think is happening in the short term in terms of support levels that I see and resistance levels that I see. I think the best way to trade a scenario like this, and of course, I'm not a professional trader, but the way I want to approach this scenario right here is that I'm just going to take it one day at a time and not get ahead of myself, because it's very easy to get trapped by saying that it has to go to a certain price target, regardless if this target is to the upside or to the downside. Like I see a lot of people calling for 50K, and I also see a lot of people calling for 85K. But in the end, the best thing we can do, in my opinion, is simply to take it one day at a time and try to trade with the trend instead of against it. And speaking of the trend, if we just zoom out a little bit and we take a look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin, look, obviously the trend so far has been up, and clearly we have been in a bull market for a long time here. So my base case remains the same. I think long term, we're definitely going higher. And in the short term, it is really hard to say. Like There are a bunch of indicators like this USDT dominance thing. Besides that, we also have the MVRVZ score, which is currently at the exact same score as when we got the local top in 2019. And like I said, this was a 60% correction that we just got randomly in the middle of the bull run. And then finally, to top it all off, in terms of bearish indicators, we have literally 7 green months in a row, 7 green candles in a row, which has never happened in the price history of Bitcoin. Okay, this has literally never happened. So if we just close this monthly candle over the next 5 days above 61K, then we have another green monthly candle, which makes it a total of 7 consecutive candles, which, like I said, has never happened in the history of Bitcoin. So is that a bullish or a bearish indicator? I think that's for you to decide. In the short term, yes, there are bearish indicators flashing, and I do think it is good that we keep an eye on them. But at the same time, the price action over here does look pretty bullish. It looks like we're reversing out of this downtrend right now as I'm recording this video, at least. And the way I'm dealing with this situation is I did take a little bit of profit on Bitcoin itself, right around 70K right here. And I took off a little bit of profit from this Pepe trade right here. I bought about $2,500 at 6,200. So that was actually, well, almost perfectly timed, I'm not going to lie. And I sold it at about 8,200. So that was about a 33% move. And price obviously could go way higher from here. I don't know. But I did want to take off a little bit of profit from these riskier trades, just in case we do see bearish price action in the short term. I want to have taken a little bit of profit. I think sometimes situations like this happen where it is really unclear what is going to be happening in the short term. So in a scenario like this, I think the best thing to do is simply take some profits if you feel uncomfortable with the situation, and just do nothing if you think eventually price will go higher and you're not over leveraged or anything like this. So basically do nothing or take profits. By the way, if you are into crypto investing and you want to join a free crypto community, a free crypto group, then join my Discord server. It's the first link in the description of this video. Feel free to join it and come check it out. And lastly, guys, please subscribe if you haven't already. My next big goal is 50 subscribers. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me reach that. Thank you for watching once again, and I will see you in the next one.